Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll go with Jag. Nice little Jag in the jungle there from Blank, but the teams have now all decided where they're dropping. Hang on a minute, that's Loops in boot camp.
No one will challenge the Loops in boot camp. They've established dominance. That's how this works. Establish dominance, first game, get the boot camp on the third game. That's how this works.
They managed to zone it all away. Na'Vi playing an interesting split there on the north side.
Yeah, I mean, they've done this before in EMEA. It's fair play. I mean, Futbolist have taken heart in, so Lee was completely correct. And here's Archers versus DRS. You see Unsu is a little bit far away, but Nima trying to open the door, get in there, and it's just Fabian by himself. But he takes the initiative, goes out wide, there's another one in the head. Oh my god, the drop shot is real, and both the players drop to the floor shortly afterwards. That was me trying to mix up shortly and floor at the same time.
I believe you. But either way, Fabian gets a twofer, and will be able to get away with it as well. This is just on the north side of the quarry. A really important rotation position now for this circle as it lays itself out, right? Because you've got all these teams to the west that will start to funnel between quarry and boot camp, and a difficult rotation to make if you want to go out towards the east as well. So controlling the north peak of quarry,
great stuff. We're happy about it. I mean, to be fair, Fabian, you absolute monster of a man. Very well played to you. I really like that, though, because a lot of times you do see a player just get kind of stuck in one of these buildings where they're versus two players, and it's all but over. Fabian realizes this, and he's like, look, I have to make a play. That's the comm that comes through to the rest of the team. It's like, I have to make a play, and they're like, no, Fabian, wait, we're going to be there soon. He's like, no, it's too late.
It's when the Arctic Explorer steps out the tent and says,
I've got to make a play.
I'll be back. And then you know he's laying his life on the line. Fortunately, he did actually come back in this instance.
Yeah.
We are going to see DRS continue to try and pick up the pieces, but unfortunately they continue to fall. AJ takes a knee as Ionix from up the hill will take him down a peg. Two players now remaining standing for DRS.
You just got me on the thought train of like really professional jobs, and then when they go out to do something, all that's said is, I'm about to make a play.
I'm about to make
it's
a
like a really professional guy in the stock markets, and he's like, he's about to make a really big deal. And they're like, maybe this is risky. It's risky. He's like, I'm about to do what I call a pro gamer move.
That definitely happens in real life, and not just inside your head, Blank, but I'll tell you what happens in real life right now. It's DRS starting to clap back just a little bit, unfortunately. Might be a little bit too little too late. Only one player left, very, very low, and Fabian's out for more. He's already got two on the round.
Come here.
Wants a little bit more centre wide. Real headshot peek there with the AKM. Gets the flush, but taken down for the cost. But one player falls. Two players have fallen, actually, from Archers in response. 4 points, however, on the board. A good start.
I mean, these kind of thoughts may be in my head, but in Archers, there's a couple of bullets in their head. So a little bit unfortunate for Archers, because that went really well the beginning, and then they've lost a couple of players henceforward. Now they don't have that much strength holding the top of quarry. They'll probably have to give that up to Elite United team instead. We've got Team Secret down to the southeast here in Kampong. They've got a pretty easy path up to the north side as well. Na'Vi, though, they are still watching out. And I want to talk about this team a little bit earlier because, you know, they love to be in hot end, don't they? But like Lee was saying on the desk, Futbolist, they've taken residence up there, and Na'Vi is just seething outside of Hartin, just angry that their position of homely residence would be taken away from them. But instead, they're going to try and hold them out. Right now, Solka's actually made it across and is hiding behind the building. So, you know, Futbolist might be able to get the drop on Na'Vi. So it's World League West champions versus the EMEA champions. This is a really interesting fight.
And these are the two titans of the region, remember, Blank. They were setting it up on the desk, you know, this sort of rivalry that might develop between these two squads. Because, of course, they've never faced, well, certainly not in the recent tournaments, in the recent set of play, they haven't come into contact with one another. So we'll see just who has the chops to be able to take that northern edge of the circle as things do continue. But everybody else still in the lobby as well. You've got Aerowolf on the calm drop, looking for the lumberyard, as well as Bigetron now making their rotation along the coastline, making a move a little bit further in as well.
I mean, these are the two teams from SEA that did fantastically well. BTR obviously taking the win, but Aerowolf not far behind whatsoever. So this could be a very interesting fight that comes through. But right now, they're so far away from the circle. You can see, what we can see on our screens right now, if you can't see it right now, but on the south or west edge towards Ruin, Painan, Tambang, that entire island is purely occupied by Aerowolf, Limax, and BTR right on the south side of Sami. The rest of the team's looking for a position in the circle. Loops have already left. But oh boy, scouting out. Check out what the players are, but it's a perfect pre-fire.
Oh, they had no idea that Solke was there. He just hits the deck, but now they know he's there, certainly. A really early kill there. Old boy just dismantled. Didn't even have his gun out. He was completely unaware of this position.
This is what I was talking about earlier, is where Solke had managed to creep his way into these buildings. I don't think that Na'Vi knew it was coming. So now this provides such a good moment for Futbolists to now kind of make their way across this water unimpeded by the rest of Na'Vi, who will be desperately scrambling to regroup into that three-man team. Luckily, Sandhawk is a map where you can win with a three-man, but it makes things increasingly difficult, especially when you lose that member towards that 6-minute mark. Particularly, you would like to lose that member around when there's 10 teams remaining, and you can kind of more effectively avoid teams. Right now, it's kind of pot luck whether you run into another team or not. Loops, however, they've taken a really dominant position since they looted up boot camp, not shy to leave there at all very quickly. And you can see Nova XQF on your screen in front of you, just taking hillsides, scouting, that PogChamp scouting. Very, very important, John.
Certainly super poggers from them. They are going to continue to try and live up to that. I'm interested in why Archers... Well, I was just having a think as to why Archers didn't push out and take that hill. Yeah. And of course, they took 2 knocks early on. They took 2 players going down for the 4 kills that they have. So the fact that they stayed in the buildings, to me, is actually kind of smart, because they know they can't cover the ground. They know they can't hold down a ridgeline, especially against all the teams starting to push through. So instead, they're going to allow people to move around them and try and use the cover that way.
Absolutely, John. I completely agree here. I mean, it's going to be an interesting map, is all I'm saying, because I think that with such high caliber of skill in these teams, when these fights do happen, like Jason was saying, that third party, that fourth party, that fifth party is going to come in very, very quickly. So you'll be really careful where on the map you take the fights, and a lot of that will be down to information based. Is there a team nearby that could capitalize on this? You need to know that before you even take that initial shot.
This is unfortunate for the Archers, actually. The fact that Blue Bees have moved into the compound, it means that Novex Questef are going to know that there is a team there, and so they will be wary when they're scouting these buildings. The question is, do they think that all 4 of them are on this opposite side of the road? Do they think that there's anyone on the close side if they opt to push for this? They don't need to, by any stretch of the imagination, but they might just want to clear that out. It makes the rotation away from this spot for the Archers a lot harder.
It makes things slightly easier as well, though, because, I mean, if they take both sides, they actually have a pretty damn good spot within the circle. But again, Nova, XQF, they're close by. But it's Bigetron here versus Aerowolf Limax, and they've been able to gatekeep them pretty effectively from underneath this bridge, requiring the toll to pass here. Already 1 knock goes through onto Hazelnuts. Everyone's pretty much stimmed up here. Super Una trying to make their way through, but Bigetron might just take this moment to cross. They know they need to get into the circle still, and they're about to hit zone 2 worth of damage to that blue.
God, and it's a very tricky rotation as well, because they've got Quarry in the way, and we know what a disgusting rotation feature that is in Sandhawk. It's going to speed things up by grabbing the buggies. Bigetron opting to go for the vehicles. I know they said on the desk that it's very difficult to use them, but when you're this far out in the blue, you do need something to hurry you along, so I think it's a wise choice there. Probably the best of a bad spot, but RRQ are going to know of this approach.
Yeah, RRQ is going to be the difficulty here, but what Quarry does provide you is a way to really limit those angles that you're shot at, because it basically acts as a large scar in the map where it cuts off 2 teams on either side. So what Bigetron could effectively do here is rotate all the way up on that east side. Right now, the east side of the circle is fairly free. No one's in Camp Bravo. No one's up towards Mong Nai. This is a really good time for Bigetron to maybe have a little spot of that where that plane path went in the beginning, and then think to themselves, most teams will probably have gone down on the south side, and that north might be a little bit barren. We can take position up there. And I trust Zuxi as that IGL to make that call.
Will they be able to get through Team Secret, though, on the way? Because that is going to be their stopping point right now. They've skirted around RRQ. RRQ should be aware of this position, given the fact that they drove up in buggies. It is noisy. Do Team Secret know, and will Bigetron push that way if they opt to go for it? It looks like, hang on a minute, they might just be sending straight through RRQ. This could be tricky. on the southeastern edge.
I mean, they will just be on the edge side when they actually come into contact with RRQ, so there is a potential to take this fight, and it is really good for them because then they can start to really capitalize on position, hold it down a little bit. Aerowolf Limax managed to get that fourth player back online, so they are not out of the game yet. They only have one player within the circle at the moment, though. Luxy might just be caught off guard by Beer 11. He just was about to go for that shot, but Luxy dips just beneath the horizon there.
Some more shots being popped here. Ryzen taken very, very low, but not out of it just yet. We'll be able to dip down. Luxy, not so lucky. Microboy and Zuxi need to push up.
I was just going to say that it was really important that Ryzen didn't go down there and they had that 4 versus 4 ability towards them. But really here, Bigetron, if they are smart, they will just cut their losses here and leave Luxy behind. It's sad that it has to be done, but sometimes when you've got to get those placement points on board, you have to do it, especially after the game they had on Miramar.
Wow, G9 lying in wait takes a lot of damage, and Zuxi strikes back. RRQ, they're going to pay a little bit of tax on that kill, but looks to be affordable.
No,
oh dear, Zuxi looking to go for the finish. Rocks up, Ernie swings out wide. This is disastrous for Zuxi, but is he going to manage it? Looks for the drop shot, can't get back up, and Ernie cleans up a second. Bigetron down 2.
This is so uncharacteristic of Bigetron right now. Now Ryzen's forced to come back into this fight. They've invested too much to let it go just like that. They need to at least try and get some kill points on board. G9 down.
Ryzen.
Otherwise it will all be for naught. There is a nade in hand. If it even touches G9 whatsoever, that will be a knock. Comes a little bit too far over the top, so it's only Ernie who takes a little bit damage. There is a crossfire for Bigetron in play though here, John.
Ryzen takes
not anymore.
Much as damage as he should. There's a knock coming through. G9 finishes Microboy, so now it is just Ryzen versus the 2 players atop the hill. You've got D2E as well, waiting in the wings to try and come back into it. Ryzen cooking the nade. Where's he going to lob it? Looks to try and finish that kill, but they've moved. Behind the rocks, smokes start to bloom. RRQ prioritizing getting all 3 back into the fight effectively, and that's smart play coming through versus 1.
It's very desperate for Ryzen right here. They have a vague idea of where he is. RRQ will not be hesitant to take him down. You don't see Ryzen getting out of this one. We know he's done some fantastic things before, and you saw him in the opening card of the actual show itself where he got that free K, able to anchor it, as you so accurately put it there, for Bigetron. But it looks like RRQ might just be moving forward. They can effectively gatekeep, but it's Team Secret who is actually making their way down towards RRQ. This could be saving grace for Ryzen to actually make it out.
Not only that, he might be able to get something done in this fight as well. Remember, a full 4v4 fight is perfect situation for a solo player to sneak away, to get out of the fight, get a position, snake their way through, get some placement points on board. But Team Secret looking to disengage as well as the circle shifts up north.
And Team Secret's just going to lay down the wall, the barricade, very, very shortly. They know they need to get into the circle, and they can make their way up towards Camp Bravo, which is currently still free. There are some nice compounds around there to be holding on to as well. But for RRQ, they're going to have to hurdle over the barricade itself. Bigetron Ryzen, he's going to have to leap over that thing if he's going to get anywhere close to get into this next circle. He just has to bide his time, try and make his way up in these rankings, because going out in 15th place, disgusting. And like the Death said already, this should be a map they do well on. There's the first one.
Sees Ernie as well, crashing the range points too, and Ryzen, oh, he gets it done. Beer 11 down the hill. Question is, does he get spotted? D2E as well, waiting in the wings. Sorry, Beer 11 and G9, not D2E. He did take a dive there, but Ryzen stands tall.
He does stand tall, and this is good. This is really, really good. This man is a giant within the scene. Of course he stands tall. So already 2 kills, really well done. Immediate spray flicks, which are very hard to do in this game. And I mean, he makes it look absolutely easy. Right now, though, Team Secret, they have left. So it is now purely RRQ versus Bigetron Ryzen. This will be a 1v4 if he makes it happen. That's how unlikely it is to make it happen. You do not see 1v4s very often. And now Ryzen was within the blue. He has to make a move soon.
However, RRQ are super split right now. G9 all the way over towards the northeast. Beer 11 looking to try and find Ryzen, but I think Ryzen's going to go for an alternate strategy. Maybe even looking for a boat in Lakawi. We'll have to wait and see
there were
just
some
where they rotate
around,
away.
I remember, John.
There are some buggies indeed, so potentially looking for it that way, but no. The Elite United team taking yet another knock here. Very good, goes down. Very yummy knocked as well. Cray waiting in the wings. This is on the south side. Archer's looking to push through. Remember, this is the team that fought very, very early. We're down to 2, so now they're down to 1. As it is just that solo player left on the south side, trying to lead Quarry, trying to push through, but it's such a difficult space to move through ahead with so many teams.
Yeah, we're heading right to a crossroads towards the top side of the map. Not only a crossroads on the map, but a crossroads in this game itself. A lot of teams will have to go down, and very soon. There is only so much of this map that can hold these amounts of teams. The fact that we still have 15 alive is a miracle in of itself, John. It's kind of crazy that we've managed to get to this point with only 14 of the players actually falling here in this lobby so far. At least United team, though, looking a little bit flustered, not sure where to go. One jumps on the back of the bike, but it's Aerowolf Limax looking for these players, but it's Cray who hides in wait.
Just biding his time. Trying to hold it on and moving forwards, seeing how much more they can get in the placements, but the circle pushing out. Really difficult situation here. We saw a huge clustering on the southwestern edge of these circles moving forwards, but it continues to go coastal. It continues to push teams into ground that they haven't taken and fight for new situations, fight for new strongholds.
It has just slowly just marched its way up towards this northeast side of the map. Team Secret could be absolutely laughing and really happy they moved so early, but it's Bluebees versus GODSENT. Ragey moves out wide to begin with.
GODSENT go strong to start. Lufa low, ducks back down. Ragey has fallen, but they have taken a knock in response. Reeves has gone down. Roll kiss. We're going to try and challenge. Spots Lufa, cresting the ridge, hits the deck, but the nade is still cooking. Lufa, bold push, but actually might find it with the cook. Oh, a little bit too far there. Reeves yet to get back up. Ragey confirmed. And Bluebees, they're a little bit too split to continue this fight. They need to regroup, fall back just a tad, and see what more they can find.
Divine down towards the compound as well, is not really able to lay on hands here. All these teams are running, sprinting towards this circle from the southwest side. That's RRQ Athena going down. You imagine two Team Secret. Na'Vi also out.
Wow, what a chaotic push from the southwestern edge. You've got so many teams vying for position here. Bluebees just trying to win this fight in front. And then they're just going to have everybody else moving through as well. It's going to be such a difficult position to hold down. 13 teams remain. And these hills on the southwest are treacherous to step your feet.
Aitochan might be knocked here, but he's in a good position because he's able to provide information back towards Bluebees from this hillside, whereas they're able to get a little bit more of a good position. You see Jimmy there just running and shooting. Jesus, man.
There's two blue zones in this game, Blank. There's the blue zone, and then there's Nova XQF right now, because they are pushing in from the edge, making sure that everybody is running scared in front of them. They are herding players into their kill count.
Yeah. It's really smart, though, from Team Secret. U-High is actually waiting on the southeast edge of this circle for Ryzen, as well as RRQ, and they got two big pickups from that. Ryzen is sending in with the boogie, but U-High will be there to greet him, which is going to be really stressful for Ryzen to deal with after already having to move so far. That's Federal going down, Nova XQF being able to get a little bit of payback.
Goodness me, they just take him down instantly as soon as he's out in the open. Loops taking heavy punishment right now. Dudin, last standing for the squad. A sliver of HP. They're out in the blue. He goes down, and that is Loops eliminated. Winners in game one, but not so lucky here. 11th place for them.
Now GODSENT looking to put an end to Nova XQF's reign. Powerboy is outside the blue, and I believe he will go down as he crawls his way in. Nades coming over the top. You can see them just popping mid-air. It's a very difficult type of nade to throw here.
Downhill is very, very tricky to get right. The nades tend to go a little bit long on the throw, so getting the cook is so important.
I need to check something really quickly. Aitochan is actually back up. Bluebees were able to, you know, receive him in the loving net, loving embrace of the team, bring him back in there. Troll kiss. Sees the player from Nova XQF moving. Tries to take the shot. Order 6 now out in the blue. Molotov drops down, but he makes his way up to the next rock. Has to be some incredible mechanical skill coming out from this team to make sure this fight goes through the right way.
Order 6 getting zoned away by the Molotov. Stops the push. Smart from GODSENT to control that ground, but Jimmy and Order moving together, moving as a pair. Roll kiss behind the rock, playing a little bit split from Reeves, who again is behind the other. Oh, the off angle catches him off guard, and Reeves finds one. Jimmy going low. GODSENT continue to fight into this with only 2 players standing. They're taking on the whole of Nova XQF. And actually, hang on a minute, they might be coming out on top. They're all down, and Nova XQSF eliminated. GODSENT stand strong.
GODSENT had an incredible improvement throughout the entirety of the EMEA region, and they're showing us this here again. It's really good to see GODSENT still on their feet. Yes, they're down to 2 players. One is knocked. That's Execute taking a lot of damage too, with Fameboys going down, and I believe BTR still in the game though. Ryzen still alive. Jack's trying to make his way in.
Oh, he's made it. Oh, he's only got to done it, has he? No, he hasn't. I lied to you. How do you feel about that?
Very close. Not very good about it. Ryzen still has a buggy, but I don't think he can stay in the buggy long enough to get in. But from 15th place, John, 15th place down into a 6th place spot if he actually goes out now. It is incredible he's come this far.
And through the fog of war, a team emerges intact, entirely complete, and it is Team Secret on the eastern side. They play to the north of Lakawi on the eastern edge. Sorry, is it Lakawi on the east? Yes, pretty sure. Yes. And they move up beautifully. They stopped RRQ from moving through. They continued to push that fight to happen, and now they're starting to step up. Futbolist, though, they will look to challenge. They've been a little bit more scraps this time around. They've already got 6 kills to their name, but they've lost a player for it, so they're down in power.
Yeah, they're trying to get through here. They have the tree line to play around with, but Futbolist is just raining down hell onto this tree line. It may as well be a chainsaw the way they've been removing these players. iShot's still alive, but they are now in the blue, and that's Bigetron out. From 6th place, though, bloody good job. Fameboys from Execute still alive, and it's Bluebees with the 3 players. One goes down, it's Aito-chan once again, but now he can go back to the scouting purposes that he was born for on his knees.
Fair enough. Well, Bluebees, again, they are controlling the next bit of the circle, and that's GODSENT finally going down. King Slayers, but slayed themselves. Team Secret down to 1 as they get dismantled on the push. Now, for me, it's basically Bluebees versus Futbolist, and Bluebees right now have a compound and the circle.
And obviously Team Secret and Execute versus one another for that 3rd place spot, and it is Team Secret coming out on top there. They'll be happy that coming from a 1st place to a 3rd place is really damn good. Now, like you say, it is Bluebees versus Futbolist. Max wanted to see Bluebees do well, and I'm really happy so far. Lufa's been able to hold it down for this team. He was one of the players that excelled in World League on Reject Scarlet. Now he's doing it again here on Bluebees. Definitely a man that deserves to be here on the global stage.
The Rocks providing cover for the push, but Futbolist yet to actually make their way inside the circle. Team Secret still healing out in the zone. Gets another first aid off. We'll see how much longer he can survive. But in comes the push. Nades to cover them, but not really much more than that. No smoke's being dropped right now. Lux takes a lot of damage. Will go down as well. Oh, Solke dips back behind the rock just in time, but the blue zone will continue to push. Another knock found, and Bluebee starting to step up here. Solke drops down a Molotov to try and stop the push, but has to push through the fire, through the flames, finds one, but no longer will he be able to stand. Divine is in the circle. Team Secret make their way into 2nd, which is why the game hasn't finished right now, but he's got 5 first aids. He's just gonna chill. How long will this game last?
Bluebees are like, hang on, we just killed the other team in the circle. What's going on here? Now, iShots is trying to make his way in. Remember, there's only 1 player from Bluebees remaining. If iShots could crest this ridge and spot Divine, take him out, they will get a first point.
No way!
No way! It happens!
How on earth has he made that happen? Team Secret!
He's up from his seat. Oh, well done, mate.